This is a demonstration of a MIDI Designer Pro 2 real-time MTC clock function, also called a wall clock. It is based on the timecode generation app from Haute Technique, available on Mac, iPad, and iPhone to generate the MTC timecode. StreamBiter in MDP receives and processes the MTC code and outputs hours, minutes, and seconds to knobs which are linked to labels that display the real-time values. The MIDI Designer layout can be adapted to other apps or devices that output the standard MIDI timecode. As a retirement hobby and one-time organist, I program custom MIDI design layouts and functions primarily to support virtual pipe organ applications. I am not associated in any manner with the developers of Midi Designer Pro nor Haute Technique. There have been requests to include an MTC clock in MDP. Shown is an example. The MTC clock function will satisfy these requests. Some approaches are based on Ableton Link. This is an alternate approach. This demo uses the apps on a Mac computer, but they are available on an iPad or iPhone. I find designing MDP layouts using a mouse and keyboard shortcuts easier and quicker while displaying multiple apps at once. It does not require a computer if implemented on an iPad or iPhone. The MIDI output from the timecode generator is a standard MIDI timecode MTC. It is a sysx message, and its contents are F0, 7F, 7F, 0101, HH, MM, SS, FF, F7. MIDI Designer receives this message and converts it to control change messages to control the knobs. The timecode generator is a rather simple app that does what it says it does. When the app is first opened, there are playback controls. Once started, it will remain running until stopped. If you shut down the iPad, it will resume running with the current time being displayed. For this application, the setup defines the time code at a frame rate of 24 frames per second and send MIDI. Controls in ArtNet remain as defaults. MIDI device is IAC driver bus 3. This is using the Max Audio MIDI setup application for the network connection. It should be set to MIDI Designer in an iPad. The MDP layout consists of 3 knobs, hours, minutes, and seconds, to receive the converted CC message, and 5 labels arranged to display the common digital time readout. The knobs will normally be hidden in play mode. The MTC input is processed by MDP's StreamBiter feature. It converts the MTC sysx to the following CC messages. Hours B500HH. Minutes B501MM. Seconds B502SS. The channel and change can be changed to suit the specific layout. Next is provided the details of the Midi Designer Pro 2 layout. The StreamBiter code is not complicated and is listed on Bank 2. The first action uses the count variable in a loop to divide the input sysx messages by 24, which is the number of frames per second. This yields a once per second output to the knobs whenever the count reaches 25. Note the hours in the MTC code has 20 added to the actual hour, such that hour 1 is 21, hour 2 is 22, etc. Thus, one line subtracts 20 to get the actual hour to be displayed. Finally, the CC messages are sent to the knobs. In design mode, the properties of the seconds knob show 60 ticks going from 0 to 59. MIDI uses channel 6, CC2, and is a message type, control change, and MIDI receive is active, and advanced named ticks are used. In named ticks, the MIDI and display go from 0 to 59. Since a digital clock always precedes digit 0 to 9 with a 0, the name parameter includes the 0 from 00 to 09. It then goes from 10 to 59. The minutes and hours knobs are similar. The minutes knob is identical except it uses channel 6 CC1. The hours receives channel 6 CC0. As stated earlier, the use of CC versus sysx and the selection of channel 6 can be changed if it interferes with other controls in your layout. Since the hours go from 00 to 12 or 24, the number of ticks are 24. If the source is based on 12 hours, MDP will properly display 00 to 12, and the knob will cycle through half its range. The seconds label displays the name tick's name parameter. Its label value source links to the seconds knob. Similarly, the minutes label links to the minutes knob, and so forth. In conclusion, if you have the need to display a real-time clock on your layout, I hope you will find this demonstration fairly good as an application for you to use. You can contact me at djsorg2062@gmail.com if you have any questions or comments. Thank you very much for listening.